What's up, everyone? Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you are new, welcome to my channel. My name is Preeti Rao, and I am both a real estate broker and a mortgage broker for close to 20 years. Now, of late, a topic on everybody's mind is, are we going into a recession? Now, I get asked this question by clients, by colleagues, and it's fascinating to listen to everyone's point of view. So I thought, wait a minute, I have a point of view too, Now, my point of view may be right, it may be wrong, I don't know. That you can tell me in the comment section of this video. But yes, please do tell me if my thought process is a yay or a nay. But before I proceed, you know the drill. Make sure to like, share, and tap that bell icon so you get notified anytime I share an informative video for you. And of course, if you find the information provided is of value, then all I ask is to hit that tiny subscription button down there, the subscribe. Yeah, it gets me motivated to keep you up to date with everything real estate. Now, before I delve into this heavy topic of recession, we first need to understand what is recession. The basic definition says recession is a period of temporary economic decline during which trade and industry activities are reduced. And this is generally identified by the fall in GDP in 2 successive quarters. Now, I am not going to stand here and give you a crash course in economics. I am not good at it. But in order to understand what is happening in the real estate market, and are we really going into recession, we have to know what recession means and what factors cause a country to go into recession. The main cause is a loss of business and consumer confidence. See, as that confidence keeps receding, so does the demand. And recession is that tipping point in a business cycle when ongoing economic growth, it peaks, it reverses, and then starts a downward turn. So let's go back to 2020, when all of what we are facing today actually begun. We all know 2020, China won the silent war by generously spreading COVID all over the world, bringing every country down to its knees, basically bringing the world economy to a complete halt. Every country dealt with COVID in their own way. So did Canada. To help people survive with the day-to-day basics, the government started giving out money. Now, a lot of people have strong opinions about this, and I am not here to refute with any of your opinions. But at that time, to keep the economy somewhat running, that step was necessary. Did they overdo it? Yes, they did. Suddenly, people had this extra money to spend, buy more things, and basically living life beyond their means. Mortgage payments were put on hold. Property taxes were put on hold. Where people would earn, they go to work, earn, pay the monthly debts off, they earned, they worked, they got money from the government, but they did not have these monthly debts to pay. And a lot of people did just that. Businesses got loans to survive. They were selling their goods and getting money to expand, which they did. Suddenly, there is more money in the economy than stuff to spend it on. And always, this gives rise to inflation. Stores could not keep up with the demand, so they started slowly but surely increasing the prices of their commodities. People still paid. And it's a natural part of the economy. It's a good thing that prices go up, but in small doses, because it means that the economy is growing. But when we see overnight hikes, like we are today, that is a sign of inflation. But what does interest rates have to do with all of this? You see, most countries have a central bank. Ours is the Bank of Canada, also known as the bank of all banks. It's not a normal bank that stores our money and then lends it out and collects interest and makes a profit. No, their job is to set the rules or the policies that all other banks have to follow. They're not motivated by profit. Their job is to babysit the economy and to keep it growing, to make sure people have jobs, to make sure that prices don't fluctuate too much so that we can keep growing slowly and steadily. And one of the main factors they handle is the interest rate. So during the pandemic, the Bank of Canada was like, we need everyone to spend money. So they lowered the interest rate and people borrowed and people spent. And it totally worked. The lower interest rates helped stimulate the economy. So what did businesses do with all this insane new demand? They raised prices, all at the same time. And that gave rise to the inflation. Your $2 that would have got you an extra large coffee at Tim Hortons at one time, now you can only get a medium plus HST. And have you noticed the coffee cup? The size is reduced. Not fair. Now, the same thing we saw in the real estate market. In 2021, all the way to March 2022, the house prices made no sense. The interest rate was so low that people somehow did not care what they were buying the houses for. They had the extra cash for the down payment, so they went shopping and paid exorbitant amount of money for houses that were really not worth that much. causing the house values to reach unattainable values. The supply was low, the demand was high, and people still kept drudging on and on and on. This rise in inflation has got the country and its caretakers worried. And the only way that they can try to pull down inflation is to carry on raising the interest rates. That will make the cost of borrowing go up, and it can send the ripple effect across the whole economy, sinking consumer confidence. If rates go too far too fast, it can tip the economy into recession. But the question here is, will Canada go into recession? Now for that, I'm going to take you back to 2008. Remember when there was a fear of recession back then too? The US went into recession. People left the keys of their house and walked out of their homes. But Canada did not suffer that way. Yes, private lenders took a hit, but banks were fine. So the first thing we have to stop doing is comparing our banking system to the US. They've got a whole thing going out there. Not our problem. We Canadians, we are strong when it comes to our banking industry. It's practically recession-proof. In 2015, we again went through the same situation. That time, it was the foreign buyers pumping up the market. So to put all this madness to a halt, Bank of Canada introduced the stress test in 2016. That put a huge damper on the resale value of homes, but that was one of the best decisions they ever made. Today, if you want to buy a home in Canada, you qualify either at 5.25 or 2% more than what your current rate is, basically putting you in a comfortable position when it comes to rate hikes. We are yet to touch the 5.25 mark on the interest rates, but we're getting this close to it. One more very significant factor to remember. Canada is a land of immigrants. Pride of home ownership is something that it's ingrained in us. They will do 3 jobs if necessary, but they will never default on their mortgage. And this is why, for me, I think recession, we're not going to hit it. But yes, the economy will suffer a little bit, maybe for a year or so, but we'll be fine. You know, it's very difficult to get inflation under control without severely denting economic activities. A little inflation is okay. It keeps the economy moving at a sensible speed. But inflation staying high for too long, that is a problem. Rising interest rates can slow an economy right down. The trouble is, it may take as long as 2 years to see the full result from interest rate changes. But the Bank of Canada has no choice. Raising interest rates is their main tool for taming inflation. Let's just hope they don't increase rates too high and too fast, as that will push us into recession. So how I see it is simple. People need to stop spending the way they are, which will reduce the demand of commodities. That in turn will make the seller reduce the price that they expect for those said commodities, which in turn will bring down the prices and inflation and prevent this country from going into recession. So, if you found value and or like this video and would like to see more content, then please click on the boxes on the screen. Once again, my name is Preeti Rao. My contact information is in the description box below. Make sure to hit like, share, subscribe, and the bell icon so you don't miss any future videos. Thank you so much for watching. And don't forget to call me, because I hold the key that opens the door to your dream home.